Hi you, King here, and this is a theory video about how the new Avatar sequel that's coming out next year is going to be getting rid of the four nations that we have known for so long and have grown to love so much, with 7 havens, thanks to a cataclysmic event caused by good old troublemaking Korra. And the theory that I thought of is about what those 7 havens could be in contrast to the 4 nations. Like, the 4 nations were obviously based around the 4 types of benders and the 4 elements: air, water, earth, and fire. Like, I'm thinking with this being a cataclysmic event that tore up the different countries' landscapes to basically obliterate the 4 nations, that it must have been some type of global earthquake situation. And the nation that is most adept to deal with a disaster on that level would have to be the Earth Nation. But I'm still thinking that there would have been massive amount of, casualties and survivors. But I feel like the most of those survivors would have to have come from the Earth Nation. So that these 7 havens to, I guess, protect from the outside world that's now become even more wild and dangerous would probably be set up by remnants of the Earth Nation. And I'm thinking that the reason that there's 7 is because it would be like 7 different groups of 7 different types of earth bending settlements. Like, in each haven they have like a different type of earthbender that is the majority of said haven. So, like, for example, we know about the standard earthbenders, but as the series went on, there became different types of earthbenders through the sub-bending elements of earth, such as metal bending, lava bending, and there's a whole bunch of different types of earth bending, sub-bending, because there's a lot of stuff that's made up of earth for earthbenders to bend. So yeah, I could see one haven being a majority of earthbenders, like standard earthbenders, while I could see a second haven being a majority of lava benders governing it, and maybe the haven's placed right next to an active volcano, to kind of strengthen their lava bending potential and powers. I could see a third haven being in a desert and having it being mostly populated by sandbenders. I could see a fourth haven being like Jiaofu, like a big metal city, but on a more massive scale. And of course, it's governed by metal benders. And I could see for a fifth haven, it being mainly underground and governed by crystal benders, that they use the creeping crystals as a both defensive and offensive mechanism against outsiders, and keeping the whole haven underground makes it like a good hiding spot from people being able to easily find it. I could see for a sixth haven, and this is where things start to get even more interesting. From the novels that show Avatar Kyoshi was one of the first few, if not the very first, earthbender to be able to glass bend. So I could see, a city made out of glass the way Jiaofu's made out of metal, and it's primarily populated and governed by glass benders. And for a seventh haven, and this hasn't been explored before, and this could be a new sub-bending type that they introduce into Avatar, because it is possible, I could see a seventh haven being mainly populated and governed by bone benders, which would be like the most dangerous haven to either attack or be attacked by, because just like if there was a city full of bloodbenders, there'd be little that you could do against them. And maybe their entire fields of this haven is like a graveyard, and it's filled with the bones of just not like different types of people, but also different types of creatures of the Avatar world, like the skeleton of like a dead sky bison, or a skeleton of a badger mole or even the skeleton of a dragon, and they're able to just bone bend it out of the ground to attack any would-be invader. Either way, this is primarily where I'm thinking they're going with the idea of 7 havens instead of 4 nations. Like, instead of the 4 bending elements that the 4 nations were based off of, they're gonna primarily go off of all the sub-bending elements of Earth. And it's probably gonna make it so that this new Avatar series better fits the new earthbending Avatar that we're going to be getting. Especially because I have like another theory video coming up about the whole twin Avatar thing, and how one of them is going to be the embodiment of Vaatu, the avatar for Vaatu being the dark Avatar, and how that would pretty much make them like an average Avatar, with if they are also an earthbender, if they become like a dark Avatar, boosting all of their earthbending abilities, and with all the sub elements of earthbending, well, that pretty much will give them more than just 1 or 2 things that they can do against the normal Avatar. So look out for that theory video, and tell me in the comments below if you enjoyed this theory video. If you think I'm right, please, take a moment and press that like button, as well as ring that notification bell so you know first when the second Avatar theory video that I'm making drops. But until then, please like, share, subscribe, and follow on all platforms, and continue staying great.